The first Sicario film was one of the best films that came out the year it was released. And when the sequel was announced, I was honestly curious on if we needed it. It just didn't seem like a film that was going to get a sequel. So I was more surprised than anything. And when Taylor Sheridan was coming back to write, that's when I immediately was attached to the project. Between Wind River and Hell or High Water and Sicario, the guy really just can't do any wrong at the moment. So when I saw he was writing it, I knew we were more than likely getting something that was worth existing and watching. And then when I saw that Emily Blunt's character was going to be absent from this one, and that Josh Brolin and, of course, Benicio del Toro would be returning, that's when I got really interested. It's not that I didn't like Emily Blunt in the first movie. I did. I think she's a wonderful actress. She's a beautiful woman. She's very captivating. It wasn't that. There were character decisions that she made in the first film that really irritated me on my first watch. And when I saw that she was going to be missing here, I actually got more excited because she was really the only nitpick that I had from the original. So I went into this with a lot of hopes, just purely off of the writer, my experience with the first one, and just a vague idea of what to expect. And honestly, I know a lot of people adore the first one, and I completely understand. So I hate to hype this film up, but for me, I actually prefer this one. So man, this is one bleak ass film. Another thing that I was a little worried about was the fact that Denis was not going to be directing this time around. And what made the original so great was the combination of Taylor Sheridan, Denis, and the composer. All of those three together just made this incredible film. And the plot line of that film, the original, isn't super complex, but the way the film is made makes it unbelievably great. I mean, the first Sicario is fantastic, but for me, this one was just better. It worked more for me. I think what I really enjoy about Sheridan's work, and we'll specifically talk about this film, is that there's nothing theatrical about his movies. There's intense action sequences in this film, but none of them feel, fake or there for entertainment purposes. They are just brutal and very realistic. I mean, it very much feels like you're there. These films are so dark. There is not really any time to be laughing or having a good time. Like, these are not films to go and sit back and enjoy yourself, honestly. They're very, very bleak and, kind of hard to sit through in moments, because there is some stuff that happens in this film that is fucked up, like straight out. So, there are some people I pretty much immediately had to eliminate from certain scenes that happened. I had to be like, well, she wouldn't like this. Oh, well, she wouldn't be watching this one. It can get very grim. But that's the nature of the story. And that's what I respect so much about a movie like this, is that when you're dealing with subject matter like this, you need to get dark. You need to get grim. The action sequences, the shootouts and stuff like that shouldn't be glamorized. It shouldn't look appealing. It's dirty shit. And that's just what this movie's about. It's about a bunch of people who are sent off to do something no one else wants to do. The dirtiest of the dirty. These guys are the garbage men for the government. And you just can't have a a cool stylized film. When you're dealing with this subject matter, it just won't work. So I truly appreciate how dark this film is, even though it can be, kind of hard to watch at times. It fits. And the director here really complements, Denis' style from the first one. So it does feel like the same, like, universe. It feels like a second part to this story. But he also has his own flavor on it. I also liked the more intimate moments with certain characters that I got to know them better, and they really worked for me. Even certain things that were so small and subtle really hit and resonated with me personally. So I loved all that stuff. I think that if you're a huge fan of the first, I honestly can't see how you wouldn't enjoy this one. This one is just as good, or in my case, better. But I will not fault anyone or argue with them if they think the first one's better, for sure. But I do think you are going to think this is as good or damn near close. So anyway, did you guys check this out yet? I was going to go see it opening night, and I had to wait. But I finally did get to see it tonight, a whole 24 hours later. That's like a fucking year for me. But man, I just sat there and I was just stunned. The whole theater was completely silent. No one made a fucking sound the entire film. No shit. Not a cough, not a crinkle, not a fucking, crunching, nothing. No one was drinking anything. No one was eating anything. No one was breathing. Okay, there was people breathing, but it seriously was silent because it was so fucking grim, but it was so captivating that I just couldn't look away. There were so many intense scenes. There's so many moments of dialogue that you're just grimacing at because you know how ugly what they're doing is and what they're saying is and what's going to happen. Like, you can tell. And that's another thing. Like, when I say you can tell this shit's about to get real. Like, it's about to get grim and they're about to do terrible things. But another thing that's great about this movie is nothing goes the way you think it's going to go. I just kept thinking, oh, well, this is going to happen. Nope. Sure fucking didn't. The way this ends, I didn't see any of that coming. So, fucking 2 giant thumbs up from me. I don't give ratings, man, but this is fucking pretty flawless, man. So, anyways, all right. I ran long enough, but I'm just kind of in love with this film right now, and it's been a great year for film. I've really enjoyed the shit out of so many movies this year. Much better than last year. So I'm pretty happy, and we're only halfway in. Oh my God, so many more incredible, possibly incredible films to go. So, all right, guys.